The authoritative man has no authority. He's mostly a pretender because the real authority of a man is determined by how readily he's willing to expose himself. Because his authority does not comes from outside. So you might have seen a lot of people in position of power. Their whole sense of being is dependent on an outside entity, on outside people validating them. However, that's not real authority. The real authority comes from your own being and authenticity. Yo guys, namaskaram. So, Debukidastak is a platform where we talk on mental health and a lot of other sensitive issues, right? So, basically, the entire aim of this channel is to build a community around sensitive issues and make people feel comfortable about themselves. So, basically, if you're new here, consider subscribing. Our mission is to empower you with ideas to live smartly and joyfully. The world is full of suffering, but let us increase our competence to deal with things joyfully. And just a tip, so all these are basically conversations, so I might suggest that you should watch these conversations at 1.5x. You can increase the playback speed through the button in the settings. Cheers and enjoy watching. Yo guys, namaskaram. So I just wanted to share a piece of writing which I had been thinking for a long time. So the title is like, take that plunge, it doesn't matter. So in a metaphorical sense, it means that take that plunge for the work that you have always been delaying for. Okay? So if you're not deepening your why for a particular thing, you would never start that thing. The smallest of tasks would turn into big mountains to a point where it becomes totally impossible for you to start, because then you would start feeling a certain sense of fear from that big mountain of tasks, because you have been avoiding those small tasks daily which you should have been doing. You would then start feeling stress where you feel you are trapped. Every little thought would become an enemy for you as it pushes you deeper and deeper into an abyss of darkness. It becomes a mental game in which you have very low chances of winning, because you are again and again and again repetitively repeating that script in your mind, specifically like, okay, as to why these things cannot be done and those kind of things. Sometimes when you take a plunge, only then convictions follow. We bullshit ourselves into feeling that a lot of conviction is required to do anything great, but it's not. You just need to become more courageous in order to take that plunge, that first step. Convictions and conclusions should follow after you have experienced a certain thing, not before that. Give yourself enough data first. Do that thing religiously for 90 days and then make a conclusion, because you would have concrete data about certain behaviors, patterns, habits, and those kind of things. Usually these conclusions becomes learnings to improve as you go deeper and deeper into that thing. Accept whosoever you are. Existence has made you that way. No condemnation of your being, no negative judgment, and no evaluation. None of that shit. Who the hell are you to evaluate the intelligence of this creation? We all have picked up certain thoughts and learnings from our environments in which we are brought up, in which we are raised. Those environments, those, let's say, that part of world contributes just a tiny speck of dust in this entire universe. What we know is just like 0.00001%, and you can even add more zeros to it. What's unknown is lot, the entire world. Why you're so strong in your opinion that the limited amount you know is the only way? Why can't you just accept the fact that what you do not know is immense? If you're not able to laugh at yourself, you have not known laughter at its core. Laughing at others' stupidity is easy. Laughing at your own stupidity is hard. It takes courage. Try it, it's fun. Don't take yourself so seriously. Life is very limited. Once you're dead, you will be dead for a long time. Let's say if I'm 25 years right now, 28 years ago, I was dead. It's only this small amount of time that I have been, alive in this existence. Again, once you reach 80, 90, whenever death approaches your doorstep, after that, again, you'll have a long period of death in front of you. So cherish the limited time you have and enrich your experiences of life and your being. Life is too short to be satisfied where you are right now. The authoritative man has no authority. He's mostly a pretender because The real authority of a man is determined by how readily he is willing to expose himself, because his authority does not comes from outside. So you might have seen a lot of people, let's say in position of power, their whole sense of being is dependent on an outside entity, on outside people validating them. However, that's not real authority. The real authority comes from your own being and authenticity. So people love to create a reality around a specific thing. They make them seem greater than life, because let's let's think about who these people are whom you're listening to in your daily life. It's the people around you. They have not spent time with their idols. They have just seen a version of them which those idols are, willing to show them on that specific screen. So just because the people around you have a very mundane reality, they want to idolize something because there is no thrill in their common day to day life. So in fact, it's just coming from an infatuated sense of being. Like, you don't know, except that your bloody ego does not know. Don't become followers of anyone. They are just human like you. Admire those specific skills which you want to cultivate in them, but never ever become a follower of those people. And stop listening to all these people who are putting them on a pedestal. They are just human. They also have their own fuck ups, their own weaknesses, strengths, and those kind of things. So don't try to become extraordinary and special. Just remove bullshit from your life. You would blossom. All people, thoughts, ideas, and opinions which do not let you be you, just drop them. It only takes a moment. So, from a long term life, like from a long term perspective, I feel that I've seen a lot of people in life, generally speaking, where they're all kind of frustrated and miserable, and they have passed a heavy chunk of their life, let's say 50 to 60 years. So the cause of misery, I believe, is that everybody is trying to do something which has already been done. They are trying to copy something or someone that already has a place of greatness in their mind. So they are not being themselves, they are just copying. So what happens is that the more you try, the more you fail, and the more you think, the greater efforts are needed. So when you make greater efforts, there is again a greater failure, and slowly your whole life becomes a long tail of frustration and misery, because you have never ever become like those person. You just wanted to copy them. You did not wanted to be you. You did not had enough courage, or let's say enough belief in your own self. You just wanted to copy the standard chosen paths of success. So the problem is, for your whole life you're trying to be somebody else and copying their being, putting yourself below these people. Like, accept it as a fact. No one should be above you, no one should be below you. They should all be in an equal line of sight. And just cherish people for their qualities, and just learn those qualities in your own way. You don't have to copy 100%, because then you would lose your own touch, your own spark. So this is something I had written down. Let me know what you feel about it. And this is Debashish Pindra from Debukidastak signing off. Cheers. Just a couple of updates. So my website is live now. So you can go to www.debukidastak.com. There you'll find a lot of resources. I have my blog running there. I have my reading list for the years. If you have any suggestions, comments, I'll be happy to take that feedback in and improve, because I just want to build a community which is hell smart and just always living in the world of ideas and making things happen.